My coworker told HR I was faking my gluten allergy for attention. I said nothing. Then I brought my medical records to the potluck. I've worked at this marketing firm for 3 years, never caused problems, never complained, showed up early, stayed late when needed, hit my targets. I have celiac disease diagnosed at 19 after 6 months of being sick, losing weight, and feeling like my body was attacking itself. It's not a preference. It's not a trend. It's an autoimmune disorder where gluten literally damages my intestines. My coworker Brittany thought otherwise. Every office lunch, she'd roll her eyes when I brought my own food. At team dinners, she'd whisper to others when I asked servers about ingredients. When the company ordered pizza, she'd make comments about how some people just can't be part of the team. I ignored it. Wasn't worth the drama. But last month at the company potluck, something shifted. We have these quarterly potlucks where everyone brings a dish. I always brought something I could eat and labeled it clearly so others with dietary restrictions could enjoy it too. I was setting up my quinoa salad when Brittany arrived with her casserole. She looked at my dish, then at me, and announced loud enough for everyone within 20 feet to hear, "Must be nice making everyone accommodate your fake allergy. Some of us just eat normal food and don't need constant attention." People stopped talking. The room got quiet. I could feel everyone's eyes on me. I didn't respond, just smiled politely and kept eating my salad. But inside, something cracked. 2 days later, HR called me in. I walked into the small conference room where Patricia from HR was waiting with a folder. She looked uncomfortable. "We received a complaint," she said carefully. "Someone reported that you've been lying about having a food allergy to receive special treatment at company events." My stomach dropped. "They're claiming you're being disruptive by constantly requesting accommodations and making other employees feel uncomfortable about food choices." She slid a form across the table. "We need medical documentation proving your condition, or we'll have to address this as a workplace conduct issue." I sat there for a moment, processing. Then I asked who filed the complaint. She couldn't tell me, but I already knew. That evening, I went home and started pulling files. My diagnosis paperwork from 2019, lab results showing sky-high antibody levels, the biopsy report from my endoscopy where they found severe intestinal damage, letters from my gastroenterologist detailing my condition and treatment plan, prescription records for my supplements, hospital admission papers from the time I ended up in the emergency room before my diagnosis, when I'd lost 30 pounds and couldn't keep anything down. I made copies of everything, organized it chronologically, put it in a 3-inch binder. The next day, I dropped it off at HR. Patricia flipped through it, and her expression changed from professional neutrality to something like horror. "This is comprehensive," she said quietly. "I'm sorry you had to go through this." But I wasn't done. 2 weeks later was our next quarterly potluck. I arrived 30 minutes early, before anyone else. I set up my gluten-free lasagna on a separate table I'd learned years ago to keep my food away from potential cross-contamination. Next to my dish, I placed a small sign, "Gluten-free option safe for celiac." Then I set down a second item, another binder, identical to the one I'd given HR. I attached a label to the front. 3 years of medical documentation available for review by anyone who believes celiac disease is fake. People started arriving. I watched them notice the folder. A few coworkers came over, read the label, and gave me supportive nods. One woman I barely knew squeezed my shoulder and whispered, "Good for you." Then Brittany walked in. She was carrying her famous 7-layered dip, laughing with someone from accounting. She spotted my setup and froze mid-sentence. Her smile evaporated. She walked over quickly, reaching for the folder like she was going to take it. I pulled it back. "That one's not going anywhere," I said calmly. "But don't worry, HR already has copies. This one's just for anyone else who thinks I'm faking." Her face went from pale to red. "You can't what? Provide proof of my medical condition after being accused of lying?" Our boss, Richard, had been standing near the coffee station. He walked over, picked up the folder, and started flipping through it. His expression was unreadable. He studied one page for a long moment, my endoscopy results with photos of the damage. Then he closed the folder, looked directly at Brittany, and said, "I was diagnosed with celiac disease 2 months ago after collapsing at home. This is exactly what my medical records look like." Brittany was transferred to our satellite office across town by Friday.